Today, we're going to be going over simplified business planning for realtors. I decided to host this masterclass because in past years, when I've done business planning hosted in my brokerage or other masterclasses like this, I found that they were way overcomplicated. And while I was able to put together a great business plan, it wasn't something that I would realistically look back at throughout the year. So I wanted something really simple that I could go back to every month to keep me on track. So I created that. I've been using it for a couple of years successfully, and I wanted to share it with you today. So a little bit about me. If you scan this, we can follow each other on Instagram. I've been in the business for over 6 years. I'm a team lead at Compass. I was a solo agent forever, so I know that world as well. But this year I added 2 agents to my team. I am a big advocate for work-life balance and travel. So you'll see here that a lot of the goal setting I talk about is aligned with your goals and your lifestyle. It might not necessarily be, how to have the most production or how to make the most amount of money, because sometimes time and flexibility is just as important. I was a finalist for 30 Under 30 in 2024. I have been an investor and Airbnb superhost. Last year, I actually sold that property, but that was an awesome experience. And then last year, I also founded Modern Mentor, which I'll talk a little bit more later, but this is one of our free masterclasses that we host pretty much every month, and we are just all about educating agents. Okay, so the outline for today, we're first going to get into goal setting. Like I said, it's going to be based on the lifestyle that you actually want, not just what your brokerage tells you you should be doing, what other people are doing. We're going to do a mindset shift. So really focusing on the idea of high ROI activities and that your time equals money. Then we're going to evaluate how you actually spend your time. We're going to keep the activities that work and make you money and ditch the ones that don't work, which is kind of a simple concept, but I think it's a great exercise to really see how you're spending your time. And then we're going to create that custom plan to keep you accountable for the year. So first, this is the first part of goal setting. Before we set your goals, I want you to consider your intention for the year. And this should be what you want this year for your lifestyle. So some examples of these. The first one is hustle and grow. So if you are in the first couple of years of your business, you're wanting to grow your business, you're in action mode, you're ready to work long hours and earn more money. That would be the first one. The next one is coast and maintain. So this is where I'm currently at in my business. I would say from years 1 to 5, I was in that hustle and grow. And then years 5 to 7, I'm kind of in that coast and maintain zone. So these will definitely change over time. But this is where you want to stay consistent, maintain your business where it's at, and prioritize your work-life balance. And then there's also, this might be later on in your career where you're wanting to gain control or scale back. So you're really busy and overwhelmed. You're wanting to simplify and maybe not spend as much time on work. These are just some examples, but I think focusing on your intention helps you to set your actual goals. So maybe take a minute and reflect on these. These are just a couple of ideas. And then there will be a couple more on the next screen. So what's your goal? I actually will give you a minute here to rank these from most to least important. I think when we're writing our goals, sometimes it's easy to just dive into the nitty gritty of like, I want to close 10 deals this year and I want $8 million in production or whatever it is. But I think prioritizing what things you want to focus on this year can be really helpful because you can't do everything well at once. So take a couple minutes and rank these from most to least important for 2026. I'll do the same. Okay, so I think a big mindset shift that kind of simplifies your business is just thinking about how your time equals your money, right? You're not getting paid by the hour, so you want to try and be as efficient as possible, regardless of what your goals are or how you ranked those. Everyone wants to do more in less time or make more money in less time. And so the way to do that is to simplify your business. So we're going to prioritize your highest ROI activities, the things that actually work and make you money. And I wanted to share this real life example because I think sometimes this just seems like a given. Obviously, you would want to focus on what makes you the most money. But I actually did have this real life conversation this last year, and it made me realize that I have, made this error in the past, and I think other people do too, of just getting caught up in what you think you should be doing. I was talking with an agent, and she was telling me I'm doing this social media challenge where I post one reel every day for a month. And she was talking about how time consuming it's been. And then when we asked her how it's going, have you gotten any clients? She said, I'm not sure why, but I haven't gotten any leads, like not a DM, not a comment, no leads. Like I'm going to keep doing it and hopefully it'll work. But as of right now, all this time that I'm putting into it, it's not really working. And it just made me take a step back and think, like, you're not getting paid unless you're actually seeing results in real estate. So while you shouldn't just give up on something the first time if it doesn't work, really focusing the most of your time and your priorities on what is working for you in your business and what's going to make you money. So, and I'm kind of flying through this, but after this, you'll get this full exercise and the template for your business plan. So you can really take your own time to dive into all of this. But we're going to do this exercise together first. So we're going to evaluate how you spend your time. This is an example of how I did mine. So on a piece of paper, you have a piece of paper. If not, you can do it in your phone. Do a brain dump. So I want you to write down every activity that you did for your business last year outside of actual transactions. So you wouldn't put like an inspection or negotiating a contract. So anything that you did that took up your time in your business. So on here, I had like tagged my CRM, taxes, categorizing expenses, which is kind of taxes, client pop buys, coffee with clients, sales meetings, anything that you did. I'll give you like 2 minutes and just write all of those down. That was a quick 2 minutes, but we're going to move on. Feel free to keep adding to this. Okay. Step 2 of this evaluation process for this exercise is look at your deals from last year. So you might have a list of this already, but I want you to write out, and if you don't have time to go find it right now, that's fine, but just start to think through your closings and where those people came from, how they found you. So the lead source. If you only had a couple closings, or if you're newer to real estate, you can also include warm leads. So instead of an address, you could put someone's name and how they found you. Okay, I'm going to keep moving. Okay, step 3 is we're going to circle the activities that work, and for simplicity's sake, focus on lead gen activities. So this would be anything, going back to your brain dump, anything that directly connected you with one of your lead sources from this step 2. So sphere, for example, the first one, I would look through and say, okay, what connected me with my sphere? It was email newsletters, client pop buys, coffee with clients. So circle all of those activities that connected you with your leads. And I also want to note, obviously, you are still going to need to do things like taxes and categorizing expenses. But right now we're just going to focus on lead gen. So any of those lead gen activities. Okay, so now that we know what is your highest ROI, we can start the first step of creating your business plan, which is finalizing those activities that you want to do minimum at a quarterly basis. I would say the only exception for that would be events. And then figure out the cadence. So this is a screenshot from my actual business plan. So I have every month my email newsletter, every month happy hour with the client. Every month, this is a company that I pay to do touches for me. And then every week I have my social posts. Every quarter, I do these touches to my clients. And then every quarter, I also farm my neighborhood. I'm not going to give you a ton of time for this part because you might want to take a step later or take time later and think through the cadence of what makes sense for all of these activities. But let's keep moving. So this is the template. I know this seems really simple, but this is what keeps me accountable every month. So this is a screenshot of my exact one. You'll get this template after the masterclass. This just goes to show I have my activities that I do every month. So newsletter, right? Happy hour with client, those touches, the social posts. And then I also highlighted things that I do quarterly. And I stacked them in a way that I don't have Q1 all in January, for example. So it makes it a little bit more realistic as far as things that I'll be doing. So this is the most important part of your business plan, which is what I've struggled through with other business plans. Obviously, this one is super simple, like it's these two things basically. But the follow through is the most important part. So what I do is I set up a recurring monthly calendar event in my calendar, which you can pause and do now. It is the first Monday of every month, and it's an hour long. And this is when I go in, look at this, right? And time block in my calendar for that month when I'm going to knock off all of these things. I put an actual calendar event in my calendar. And then during that hour-long meeting with myself, the first Monday of every month, okay, sorry, I already said that part. I time block those activities. And then my rule is that if during the month, my time comes up to do one of those. So if it's like time to schedule a happy hour with a client, and I don't have time to do it that day, I never delete it. I always move it, because as soon as you start to stop doing these things is when they don't work, because consistency is key here. So, and really the simplicity of this, really just focusing on the activities that I know get me in touch with my lead sources. It shouldn't take you that much time. And then anything else that you do on top of this is just a bonus. So this is just keeping yourself accountable for the baseline things you need to you need to do every month. And then I also wanted to share more lead gen ideas. So if you're not loving your list of circled activities that you went through in the last exercise, these are some other ideas that could get you in front of either whether you're more focused on your sphere and nurturing the people that you already know, or if you're wanting to lead generate cold leads. Feel free to shoot a picture of this. I also have some ideas in that takeaway document that you'll get after this. I think this is just helpful if you're feeling stuck in the activities that you're doing to lead gen. Does anyone do any of these or not do any of these that you want to try out this year?
Generally, I do try to do like seminars, but I'm thinking of this, this sending out messages on birthdays and anniversaries, or just general messages to via paper, and also like a handwritten. There was an idea of sending handwritten messages.
Mm-hmm. Is that something you're wanting to do this year?
Actually, I'm in the MSP and technical area. I mean, my business is on technology, but this idea was actually, I saw it in a YouTube video or some short video. The guy, he was a real estate guy, he said, or a developer or something. And he said his best customers were because of, he sent us small, like handwritten message.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, a lot of realtors swear by those handwritten cards. That's something that Pareto does for me, which I love, because oftentimes that accountability to actually send them every month is tough. But with this business plan, you literally block out that time. So there's no excuse not to be sending those.
Okay, there's one thing. Over the years, how many customers, do you have a list of customers you've already provided for?
That I've closed for?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've closed hundreds over the years. Last year I did 15.
Okay. Here's an interesting thing. If you, do you ever call those guys?
Call my closed deals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, a lot of the companies and suppliers, after the sale, they don't really ask. But if you just call to say hello and you're not selling them something, that might have a huge effect.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's what a lot of my like pop buys or client touches have to do with that. So a lot of my clients actually don't prefer phone calls. So I'll reach out through a text and just offer them some sort of value without, asking to sell them anything. And that has been really positive for my business. Okay. I'm going to keep going. Any other questions? We're only at about 30 minutes, which is great. Okay. I want to.
What's the toughest thing in real estate?
What was that? What was that?
Okay, my question was, what's the toughest thing from your point of view in real estate?
Compass?
The toughest thing in real estate.
Probably lead generation is what, most agents would say. But that's the whole point of this business plan, is that it keeps you accountable to actually be doing the lead generation methods at work. Okay. I want to share a little bit about Modern Mentor. So this is a quick look at the video dashboard. Basically, I created this company to be an educational resource for agents. So we initially started with this video dashboard, and then these are the mentors that film the videos. They're all top producing agents across the country who have really awesome experience to share in their videos. And then I also added a ton of templates because I saw a need for that. So we have templates as far as marketing and Canva design templates. We have scripts, checklists, Excel spreadsheets. We also have one-on-one coaching. And I wanted to share the website just so you can see how easy it is if you wanted to shop some of our products. Oh, this is the back end. Let me go here. Can you see this? Let me stop sharing and reshare. Okay, here you go. We can see my screen now. Okay, so this is the Modern Mentor website. It's super easy to navigate. So you can go to the store here or here. And if you're just wanting some help or a resource, whatever it is, we have a ton on here. So we have skill kits, which are a deep dive into a topic. For example, we do have a lead generation skill kit. So if you're just wanting to get started, this is a great place. We have all of those templates. If you go in here, it is searchable. So if you're looking for something specific, you can hop in and search here. We have our video library, that one-on-one mentorship that I mentioned, and then we have done for you mailer marketing. So if you're interested in farming a neighborhood and don't have the time to do it, we have that option as well. And then I wanted to share some of our best sellers. After this, like I mentioned, I'm going to send you the link. You're going to get the free simplified business planning document. And then, yeah, feel free to shop around here if there's any other products that would be helpful for you. So thank you so much for your time today. We were quick, only 30 minutes, but you can get back to your workday, and I hope to see you on the next masterclass. Thank you so much for joining.
Okay, thank you.